Good morning. My name is Jeff Dacus. I used to be a member, or former member of the New South Wales Police. Many years ago, I was the first constable to engage in a missing persons inquiry here in Milat. Two girls missing, Docherty and Toni Cavanough. Some of you will be familiar with the recent report on Channel 7, Buried Secrets. This has been bothering me for over 40 years, and during the course of all this investigation, I was called up by the local command at Rurilla some years ago as a cold case inquiry, and I just basically told them it was me and Gordon Henderson, who were working afternoon shift on that evening, and we went around and made inquiries about these missing girls, contacted all their friends, and we spent the whole shift trying to locate these girls. We didn't locate the girls, and it was passed on to local detectives, and through that we were basically left off the case and got on with their lives. It was pretty heart-wrenching at times because Kay Docherty's father used to come into the police station quite frequently and inquire if he found my daughter, which was it's one of those things that as a member of the police that you find very, very challenging. So I've got a bunch of things here I want to show you. What happened to me during my police service was that I was involved in quite a bad car accident. It was shortened my career, and actually I've got a photograph of that car accident. It's important because that's basically the car accident. You can see it was rear-ended by a truck, and my wife and I, we went into ministry actually, so we're actually both pastors, and we went into the food charity industry. During the course of all this, what's actually happened was I've come across a witness who was a young guy, probably 12, 13 years old at the time of this girl's disappearance. And he used to live on this stretch of road called Wingdang Road, which ironically is only about a couple of k's from my house. And he said to me, we come up with a conversation about this cold case because it used to bug me and used to talk to people about it. And he said he saw this guy down there on one occasion and said he believed it to be Milat. Having in mind, he's talking to a 12-year-old kid, 13, over 40 years ago, and he was down there on one occasion, he was walking down there, and this was his play area. He lived on this road, which is only basically the beaches, the sand hills, everything's across the road. So that was his play area, and he used to go down there, and that's how he used to function as a young guy. He came across a chap there one afternoon with two girls, and he said, the girls screamed out, he's going to kill us, he's going to kill us. And he said to the girls, he said, run in different directions, you can't chase you both at the same times. These girls apparently had gotten away, and they went to a house on Wingdang Road, and you could supply the name of these people. This was never followed up, and because it was never followed up, it was just something that was probably missed in investigations. Because obviously this is prior to these girls going missing. And things get through the system and the holes in the system. He was down there on another occasion in a different area on his push bike, and there was roads and tracks all the way through there. This used to be a effluent depot, and there's old pans and that sort of things when we used to have pan toilets here in Illawarra. Some people remember those. And he was down there on this occasion on his push bike and on this road, which goes through the sand hills, and he saw a ute reversed up onto a sand dune. And at that instant, a guy came over the top of the sand dune holding a shovel. And both eyes made contact, and the kid thought, hang on, this doesn't look good. So he jumped on his push bike and rode away. You could hear the car roar up, start the engine, and this young guy, this witness who remains nameless, pedalled like crazy, got down to a point where he knew there was a hole in the cyclone wire fence which went onto a golf course, which means that the vehicle couldn't pursue him. He's kept this knowledge to himself because, I suppose, lack of faith in the local, or in police in general, and that's his privilege. I asked him to come around here at this table to meet a detective, a friend of mine, the local command. I actually go to reunions down at the local command, and I got this detective to come up here. His name's Jim Wilson. Great guy, good detective. We sat down, got all the information. The protocols of the New South Wales Police is he would forward this on to Crime Squad. Crime Squad said it didn't fit Milat's modus operandi. Anyway, this is the system that we have to deal with, and of course, in his possession, he could no longer pursue that. As a minister, I at this time, and I've got a communication here from an application to go and visit Milat. I've got all this paperwork here. This is dated 21st of the 5th, 2019. This is when Milat was transferred to Long Bay, of course, his medical condition. And as a minister, I wanted to go and have a chat with him, and they wouldn't let me. They said, "Oh, we've got our own chaplains," and I tried to explain, well, I'm not only a chaplain, I'm also a former New South Wales Police, and through that, I've had people confess all sorts of different things to me as a minister. Anyway, they stopped that. So I'm running into brick walls left, right and centre. I found it interesting that the documentary on Milats said that they believed the bodies of these two girls who went missing in this area possibly would end up in Blanco. I disagree with that. I think that the Sandhill area, it's undulating, it's easy dig. You know, if you want to bury someone, why not in the sand dunes? You know, like it's such an easy dig. You're not going to get caught driving along with dead people in your vehicle. This is a reasonable. That's my analogy of the situation. So I've got a number of documents that I've actually, when we first met up with the police here, I downloaded an image, which is basically this. This is 1978-79, what it used to look like. Okay, and we went over this with the police here, and he said, "Oh, I think it's up in this area here." We drew a little line on the map to show where it is. I've downloaded more maps, and I went back to my witness, and we had a big discussion about this. And this witness, you know, he's grown into a businessman. He employs a number of people. Like he's totally reliable. So there's no reason why to not believe information that's coming forth in this. You can see the amount of tracks and so forth here in this. You can see how it's very vast, and what he's actually done is circled a location where he believes a good starting point for a dig. I've even been able to secure an excavator free of charge for the police, but they're not in it. And like, there is not a 10-story concrete building on the area on this beach forefront. It's not like Coolangatta. You know, this is easy dig, and anyway, it should be a way of going forward. There was a gate down there, which we'll see later on. And it stops people from going down there. I think people used to get down there on the beach. It used to be a bit of a nudist beach and that sort of thing at one stage. And what we've also just, revealed is, even with the gates shut, there's other roads that come in from the northern part of this location, and through that, with the gates closed, you can still gain access. So you can come down there on weekends, or if you're on a kid on a push bike, you can just get there quite easily. So it's the whole idea, obviously, is to give relatives closure in this, and it has bothered me for a number of years. I was able to contact the original guy who interviewed me for the cold case, who had been transferred up to Newcastle area, and gave him this information, and he said he'll look into it, and I haven't heard anything back. That was over a year ago. I haven't been able to do much. The course of injuries that I've had. Half the time I'm wearing a neck brace. When I went over to America, Florida last November to have neck procedures, and it doesn't lend me to do much digging at my age now. I'm nearly 70. So, but anyway, dog with a bone. I'm going to go down there and have a bit of a scout around and have a bit of a look, and hopefully we can turn something up. Here we are. This is the Bing Nang Road. This is the site. This is only about 5 minutes drive up the road from where I live, and you can see the houses over here. The house over there. This is where the witness would have resided. We're just going to go up this track up here. This track up here. You will see a gate up here. You see that gate is locked, so we can get down here with no interference. Okay, this is approximately the site where the witness got away from Milat on his push bike back in the day, in this old cyclone wire fence back here. This is the original location of the original gate up here. There was actually roads from here, bitumen roads going up into this area. You see it is very overgrown, but we'll go up a bit further and have a bit more of a look. Right, this gives an idea. I'll just turn this camera around. You can see that the road, this was a road I used to drive in on. There's bitumen just down there, and up here further you can see how overgrown this whole area is. I come down here with the witness. I mean, he couldn't believe, like, he hasn't been here for 40 years or something himself, or 30 years at least. And the amount of regrowth down here is pretty daunting, and it's very hard to get an idea out of an aerial photograph 40 years ago of what it actually looks like now. Can't exactly just walk straight to the spot. Just to give you an idea of how easy this crime could be perpetrated here in this area. This is the area where those two girls grew up, and you can see there's a bus stop just there. At the time of the alleged offence, with Milat working in this area, there's a bus stop here and the bus stop just here as well. And at the time, these two girls were apparently going to go into town. All right, they're going into town, a possible music event or something like that. And typically, in this particular time, hitchhiking was a very common practice, and also the fact that now if there's buses available to take these girls into town, which is Wollongong's only about 15 minutes from here. So the clock's ticking. Hi girls, need a lift into town? Yeah, sure, too easy. So on our way. So if Milat's got these girls in the car, and bearing in mind he's already had two other girls who have gotten away from him, and just to show how quickly this crime could have happened, we're looking at 3 kilometres, a 3-kilometre drive up the road here. There are 2 girls who are quite happy with the fact that they've got a free lift into town, and they're on their way. So we just have a look at this area. It's wide open roads. There's minimal amount of traffic lights, and as we go up the road, it's getting closer and closer and closer. And don't forget, like, we've already had the witness confirm that Milat was working on the roads down here in this particular time, so he's very well known to the area. The witness has identified the machine that was working on the road at the time, and all we've got to do is just follow what is a possible scenario of how easily this crime could have been committed. He's already had a practice run with 2 other girls, and through that he's able to caution, speed camera. Yeah, caution. Yeah, we're in perilous times back in the day. So here we are. We're coming along, and here is just one more set of, or 2 sets of traffic lights, and we're almost there, which is really ironic, you know, when you see that how easy this crime could have been committed. And it's scary, actually. It is very unnerving. So he's got the girls in the car, and it's just not far from me, just up the road, where we're going to see the turn-off. And we probably need to view this so we can get in our minds and think, oh, okay, is it possible? Could have it happened this way? And folks, it's very much doable event. So as we come around this corner, this is the roads are, the witness had said that were being repaired at the time. And a possible thing of, there could have been possible road signs up, activity, lanes blocked, or whatever. And he needs an excuse to turn off the road. Just like this activity that's going on here now. Hi girls, there's a lot of activity on the road, a lot of works at the moment, but I know a shortcut. I know a shortcut. We'll just go up here. This is the shortcut, eh? And once you actually get out and start seeing this and piecing this together, we start to go, oh, okay. Makes sense. This is the gate you would have previously seen. People come down here and still go for walks up there. This car parked here. Someone would have just parked the car and gone for a walk up the track. And this is where the roads used to go up here. Used to be a shed up the track here too. And another thing that the witness did recount was the fact that he went into the shed at this time when these events took place, and he said the shed floor was covered in blood. So that's another reason why I think we should just get stuck into this. Okay, thank you. Yeah, well, that's probably about it for the day. Been down on site, came back, here we have it. Cold case, investigation. I just think it's probably, in realistic terms, because of the credibility of a witness, an eyewitness, it should really be declared a crime scene, especially when we've got some potential, real good, strong potential locations in an area for a possible dig down there with a machine.
So I think hopefully we'll transfer this onto medium. Perhaps the media could help to encourage the New South Wales Police to declare this a crime scene. So you know, it's not going to upset. I don't think environmentalists too much down there. It's just a very, very small area to contribute to somebody's closure. And I think if it was any one of our daughters or relatives, that we would love to see something that's going to come to an end for this particular crime. So the witness also had a number of other things that he suggested were to do with Milat. He identified him as being Milat. He identified the machine that was working on the road. His road was getting done up at the same time, and that's what Milat had worked on, this type of roadworks type machines. There was opportunity. So with the police, I hopefully they'll be encouraged to declare this crime scene down there, get a machine, have a bit of a look around down there, and with the possibility of closing this cold case. So I'm going to leave this up probably to the media now and get them to involved, and perhaps they can convince the police. I think in this day and age, people are very complacent and somewhat fearful of doing things out of the box, protocols and that type of thing. So there's some great police out there who are good at their jobs and who would love to go forward with something like this, but unfortunately there's a lot of reluctance and fear, which is unfortunate for the police in general to do things because of potential things coming against them and losing jobs and rocking the boat. So that's it. That's me. We'll wait to see what happens with the whole thing. So thanks for watching.